Have you ever wondered what was out there in the night sky? Stared up at the stars in the hopes of seeing something out of the ordinary? Have you ever heard unexplainable noises coming from a vacant room, or watched a shadow cross the wall in front of you? Have you asked yourself if there's life after this one, or if you had life before? What about strange creatures that are mythical and elusive? Have you experienced deja vu, or felt a prompting to leave because you felt you were in danger? What if tomorrow you were on the fringe? Welcome to another episode of On the Fringe. I'm Philip.
And I'm Mark.
And it's been a while, man, since we've done really anything. Between being sick and life, it's just been kind of a rough few weeks here.
Yeah, it's been a bad 2 weeks for us.
Yeah, I mean, I was sick last week. You were sick the week before. I've got some personal things going on, and my mind just hasn't been where it needs to be really to give you a good show. But we're trying it tonight. We're going to give it a shot. Hey Tim, how you doing?
We're gonna have a good one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be I don't know if it's not really different, but I just found it interesting. We're going to run down and just talk about some predictions for next year. Especially with Baba Vanga, we may touch into Nostradamus predictions for this year or next year. Just have fun and let's talk about the plausibility of it. I think it'd be a good time. But first things first, we're going to kind of do some Weird News Wednesday. We haven't done that in a bit. We found some pretty funny articles. We found some interesting articles we're going to share. But anyway, do us a favor, help us out. Check our website out, whatiftomorrowmedia.com. You got all our affiliates over there. We've got Duke Cannon, Conflicted the Game. We've got My Patriot Supply. We've got all of our t-shirts. And I know I'm forgetting one, but
EMP
also
Shield.
EMP Shield. There we go.
That might be important considering tonight's predictions.
Yeah, it could be. And also, don't forget, buy me a coffee. You know, that if you guys don't want to support the affiliates that way, if you guys just want to donate a little bit of money or something like that, help support the show, buymeacoffee.com/whatiftomorrow. We'll be in the show notes when I get it posted, which I still need to do that as well. I've got several shows I need to get posted up on Spreaker so people can listen. It's been my fault. Like I said, I've been distracted here in the last few weeks with some personal things going on. Those of you know. And, you know, I appreciate the support and the prayers and all that. That being said, let's get into this whole Weird News Wednesday thing. I think we need to get some like sound effects going or
we
something.
Do. That sounds like a plan.
But anyway, we'll kick off with this one here. This happened to do a weird news search, and I'll share it for those of you watching. Here we go. Says a Texas home is allegedly haunted by hooker ghosts. Says a homeowner from Texas claims her rental home is haunted by hooker ghosts. She claims that male renters experience different parts of their bodies getting stroked. The homeowner also added that it stirs up the business as more people rent the home to figure out the paranormal spectacle.
You know, I'm surprised some of those guys move out.
Right. Well, I mean, they can't afford rent because they got to pay the hooker, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. How does that work?
I don't know.
Can you spend money in the afterlife?
I don't know. I didn't think we needed money in the afterlife.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Then on the same one, vicious wild turkeys are terrorizing a Massachusetts neighborhood.
Well, I mean, as long as they stay in the bottle, I don't care, but
nah, right.
Is that the kind of wild turkeys that's I mean, I can see where that would cause some problems.
Well, the name of this wild turkey named Kevin is a wild turkey named Kevin is leading is leading a gang of turkey goons to take over the neighborhood for themselves. One of the residents or victims reportedly claims they're up at 6 a.m. in my lawn and start chasing us, trying to pop the tires. As frightening as they are, Kevin and his squad are cherished. Another resident states they're kind of growing on you a little bit. Well, it is Massachusetts, so.
I mean, yeah.
Let's see. What's next here? A mom. This one's not really weird. I find it
But it's
hilarious.
funny.
It is funny, so we had to share it. It's, this is from December 1st. So, as you can see, the New York Post. Mom accidentally wraps Christmas presents with X-rated wrapping paper. And these are like zoomed in pictures. So if you're just listening, go check out YouTube, Facebook, wherever we're at live. Go check out the show because these pictures. This has got an old buck.
Looks like Rudolph's getting lucky.
And then here's a a snowman feeling rather amorous. I'm like, where do I need to wrap some presents like this? I think it's
I
pretty
know,
great.
right?
That'd be perfect for like gag gifts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no way. That'd be funny.
Let's see. This one maybe a little bit different. Said, "Rise of the bots. Scary AI chat GPT could eliminate Google within 2 years." It's a little engine that could bring down Google and perhaps the human race. A tech company has developed a state-of-the-art AI chatbot so sophisticated. Yeah, Tim made the comment. So where do you buy this? I'd like to find out too. Said Chris said that she needs you guys need to wrap Noah's in those.
Yes. Yes, we do.
I'll have to do some homework and see where I can't find it.
I bet it's on Amazon.
I'm sure. Let's see. A tech company has developed a state-of-the-art AI chatbot so sophisticated that it could render search engines, not to mention countless jobs, obsolete. Unveiled last week by the OpenAI company ChatGPT, has already amassed more than 1 million users worldwide with its advanced functions, which range from instantaneously composing complex essays and computer code to drafting marketing pitches and interior decorating schemes. It can even whip up poems and jokes, an ability previously thought to be regulated to humans. In fact, ChatGPT's capabilities have sparked fears that Google might not have an online search monopoly for much longer. That's not a bad thing.
No.
Google may be only a year or two away from total disruptions. Gmail developer Paul Buquet, 45, tweeted on December 1st, AI will eliminate the search engine result page, which is where they make most of their money. Even if they catch up on AI, they can't fully deploy it without destroying the most valuable part of their business. Buckheit said, noting that AI will do web search what Google did to the Yellow Pages. It's progress, right? I mean, isn't that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Hi, Alicia. For the uninitiated, ChatGPT works by applying a layer of reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, an algorithm relying on human response to create a new model that is presented in an intuitive chat interface with some degree of memory. According to Ben Thompson at Stratechery, something like that. In layperson's term, the Chat GPT is a lot more human than prior search engines, albeit with a supercomputer's wealth of data. Think Scarlett Johansson in Her. For instance, users who Google what is the maximum dosage of vitamin D per day simply receive a link to healthline.com. However, when they posed the same question to the AI, it formulated an in-depth dissertation, the Times of London reported. ChatGPT has also demonstrated a human knack for abstract thinking. One disillusioned Twitter user prompted the AI with the command, write a haiku from the perspective of a copywriter who is feeling sad. That AI might diminish the value of the written word. Uh-oh. My wife found it.
Oh no.
Ow. Um, Google may be only a year or two away from total disruption. The AI will eliminate search engine result page, which is where they make most of their money. This is that Paul guy. The self-referential AI, also composed of a detailed rap about the superiority of EVs, electric vehicles, in the style of Ice Cube, per Twitter user request. Meanwhile, creative coder Michael Huang even constructed a simulation of her childhood self by feeding a related AI system, GPT-3, passages from her diary. What kid is ever doing homework again now that ChatGPT exists? I've got thoughts on that. Tweeted television presenter Liv Bowery, referencing the bot's ability to devise comprehensive custom essays on the fly. The Chat GPT's superhuman abilities mean it could potentially redefine the economy by replacing humans in jobs ranging from website building to architecture to journalism. We're here, folks.
Yeah.
This is where we're at.
I've
It
actually
also had,
seen ads for stuff like that
mm-hmm,
to, have AI do your copy for you. I looked at it for the show.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's here. You can pay for it.
yeah. I mean, the number of things I've seen on like TikTok and things like that where they're developing, they have an AI that will draw art. You tell them what to draw, and I think one night
Some of
we
it's
were in a
good.
we were in a chat with Willie and Ben and Joe and some of those guys. We were just in a chat, just hanging out, and Ben was trying one out, and it was cool. I mean, the things it would come up with, it
Right.
would come up with whatever we said. Hey, draw a picture of this, and it would draw it.
Yeah.
And my wife said that one's better, the one she shared here.
I was reading a book the other day, on Kindle Unlimited, and the author had, uh, used his book, plugged it into one of these programs, and it provided illustrations based on his descriptive writing in his book.
Yeah, see, I mean, like I said, that this is where we are at. We're here. Technology isn't going to be any different than the Industrial Revolution,
No.
to where jobs changed. There's going to be some jobs that disappear that AI or machine learning and things like that just do away with because, accounting.
Right?
I guarantee you're less likely you're going to have mistakes.
Alright. Well, I mean,
You
we've
know,
had that for years, though.
yeah, absolutely.
It's been going by the wayside for years.
Right. What is it? Watson, IBM's Watson.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before. Um, it is able to predict cancer better than human doctors can in an individual. Um, so this is where we're at. I mean, things are going to change. What was it? The advent of the automobile.
Yeah.
It put the wagon makers and the wagon unions and all that out of business because it was no longer needed.
Yeah.
So this is another industrial revolution. It's a technological revolution. I mean, I have my own opinions on tech, the good, the bad. I mean, it's a double edged sword, and it's
It
all,
is.
especially with AI. It's the programmer. The
Yeah.
guy that programs it initially that's going to tell it what kind of morals to have, what kind of beliefs to have, and that's what it's going to go off of. What was it, Facebook or one of those? I can't remember what company, but they had it where they had to basically shut it down like within hours of starting it and open it up to the public because they said it turned racist and all that. Um,
Yeah, I can't remember what AI it was, but
uh,
it got nasty.
yeah, real quick. It didn't take very long. See if
Yeah,
I can
less than a
find it.
day.
Systemic, yeah, this was in May. Racism is systemic in artificial intelligence system. I don't. I mean, this isn't really an AI show, so I don't want to go
No,
real
but
deep into it.
it's kind of weird though. But you know
But yeah,
what's not
it
going
was
to go away?
Microsoft. That's what it was. What's
Uh,
that?
people who turn wrenches and build things.
Right. Will the tech help it? Absolutely.
Yes.
I absolutely believe that. But there's some things that people have to do. Um, but a lot of these jobs, man, are just going to go away.
Yeah.
How many companies are we seeing, pushing, I mean, Walmart, they're doing away with cashiers because they're letting people do it themselves. I think Amazon was trying one where you go in, get what you need, and you leave, and it all scans everything. When you put it in your basket, it weighs it, it scans it, it does all that.
Yeah.
I've seen footage of that where somebody takes a tomato or whatever that needs to be weighed and just puts it in the basket. It weighs it, charges you, bam, marks it up. And that's it. There's no cashiers. There's people there to stock the shelves. Yeah, Tim said mechanics are always needed if no matter the type of vehicle, Right. Yeah, I mean, mechanics are going to be huge. I think construction workers, um, a lot of these
A lot of these
white collar
manual labor.
jobs,
Yeah.
I think are going to go away.
Well, Mike
I
Rowe
mean,
said it.
mhm,
People are spending $1 million on jobs that will never pay
right,
or don't exist.
right, and it's true, and they're going away. Um, anyway, I mean, maybe we need to revisit this as another show. Just kind of now that we're down
Yeah.
the road a little bit, we can kind of see more of what's on the horizon. Because the conversation I think needs to happen on the ethics of everything. Is it ethical? Who's going to teach this thing its ethics? The closer we get, so I think it'd be a good conversation.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. We'll throw this one. This is up from last year, 2021, but I found it funny. It said a London YouTuber claims to have been abducted by aliens and fallen in love with one of them. Sick of men on Earth, London actress Abby Bella said that she hopes to normalize interspecies dating.
I think that's illegal. Oh, wait.
I, well, maybe I don't know. uh, Said bored by the pandemic and unimpressed by the offerings on Earth, Bella explained that she joked online about wanting an alien to abduct her. Before long, she began to have dreams of a white light. And then on May 31st, Bella said she heard a voice in her dream. It commanded her to wait in the usual spot.
Isn't that
Bella had
what?
never. What's that?
Isn't that like LSD?
That's what I was going to say. Bella had never heard the voice before, and yet she says she knew what it meant. The next evening, I sat next to my open window, Bella said. She waited, and she began to fall asleep around 12:15 a.m. A flying saucer swept into view. Before Bella knew it, she wasn't in her bedroom any longer. There was a bright green beam which transported me to the UFO. Most might be alarmed by such a turn of events, but not Bella. I'm one of those people who all my life had weird encounters, she explained on her YouTube channel. Nevertheless, Bella soon found herself where very few humans claim to have ever gone, in the belly of a flying saucer. In Bella's telling, she encountered 5 aliens in the UFO. They were tall and slender, but Bella couldn't make out their true forms. I couldn't see them clearly, and they telepathically, not telepathically, I can't even talk, said, I'm not ready to see them in their true form. Bella claimed, but from what I could see, they had slight green hue with big black eyes, with human features such as eyebrows. All right, I gotta share this. It says she's posing with a fake alien. But in a sketch Bella drew for Cater's News, the aliens have round faces and a snake like gaze. Bella described them as having big eyes with irises, but Bella wasn't frightened. On the contrary, she is love struck. There was one who connected with me, she gushed, describing the feeling as being in love times 100. I didn't get his name, but I felt exactly the same. I think she's on drugs.
I,
I mean,
I don't know.
so sadly, Bella left the UF. He said he had to consent. He said I had to consent to go with him, but I didn't want to say yes in case they took me forever. So sadly, Bella left the UFO after just 20 minutes, and back on Earth, she bemoaned the gaping differences between aliens and Earthmen. Aliens offer an extra quality of care. She said, "Men on Earth just tell lies and have double standards."
Well, I
All.
mean, I mean, I can see
Yeah.
it. I mean, I, I like the girls here on Earth too.
Yeah.
They've made movies about that.
Right.
Hold on, watch this. See, here we go. It's been done. It's been done.
I wonder. I wonder if it was an LSD trip or something like that, and then she watched that movie.
But there was 4 or 5 of them. They said,
Right.
right? So I'm sorry. I should not be that way. That was rude of me. I apologize. But
I don't think you need to apologize. Uh,
I don't know. I might upset Bella. I'm sure she's a perfectly nice young lady.
well, she's already got a bad taste in her mouth for men on Earth, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true.
Oh, let's
I just
see.
realized what you said. That was actually pretty funny too. I see what you did there.
You got anything else to share for weird news?
Let's see. There was something here. Um, about the vegan to run from dawn to dusk in memory of turkeys slaughtered for Christmas dinner. I mean, there's that.
Uh,
Or oh, woman mortified as dentist gives her 3 front teeth when trying to fix a gap.
that was a hell of a gap.
That was a big gap. I mean, I got a gap, but it ain't that big. So, I mean, there was that. Uh, I'm ready to get into our meat and potatoes of the show this week, though.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. Let's see what's going to happen next year. I mean, after the last few years, nothing would surprise me. Um,
No, no.
I might actually welcome some of it.
Yeah, some of it.
I don't know. But anyway, I want to run down. We're kind of talking about a woman named Baba Vanga. Um, she's likened to the Nostradamus of the Balkans. And we'll just kind of give you a background on her. She passed away in 1996 at the age of 85. Baba Vanga was born Vangela Pandeva Dimitrova. I don't know. I'm not very good at that whole dialect thing. Was raised in Stramica, a village located at the foot of the volcanic mountain range in what was then the Ottoman Empire. She led an ordinary life until the age of 12 when she mysteriously lost her eyesight during a massive storm described as a freak tornado. She's said to have been flung in the air and then thrown to the ground by a powerful gust of wind. Her family reportedly found her close to death several days later while her eyes were injured and sealed shut, encrusted in a thick layer of dust and dirt. Vanga later said she had experienced her first vision during the days she was missing and believed she had been instilled with the ability to heal people and predict the future. All right, let's talk about what she's predicted. This is kind of
Okay.
a history. We're going to kind of run down and talk about her past predictions, and then we'll talk about for next year.
Apparently, she's
Um,
about 85%. She's doing better than a
yeah,
lot of our newscasters.
right. She said Vanga's predictions include those below. Were said to have an 85% success rate. The Kursk nuclear submarine disaster in 1980. Vanga said Kursk will be covered with water and the whole world will weep over it, claiming the disaster would happen in August 1999. The Russian sub in August 2000, killing it all on board. ISIS, the Bulgarian, is also said to have predicted the rise of the terror group ISIS. Syrian gas attack. Before she died, Vanga warned of a showdown in the country where Muslims would use chemical warfare against Europeans. This is thought to be similar to the suspected gas attack that President Bashir al Assad launched against his own people. Said Brexit. While some conspiracy theorists claim Bonga predicted Brexit, she actually incorrectly said Europe will cease to exist by 2017, something which obviously hadn't happened. She claimed the 44th president of the United States would be black, which that turned out to be Barack Obama.
Oh, that was true.
But she also said that he or she would be the last president, which did not happen. Okay. So 50% on that one. We'll give her that one. In 1989, she claimed the American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds, and innocent blood will be gushing. Some believe this is reference to September 11th. Um, Vladimir Putin will win the 2018 election. In 1979, during a meeting with writer Valentin Sidorov, Vanga said, all will fall as if ice, only one remain untouched. Vladimir's glory, glory of Russia.
Hmm.
It says World War III. Shortly before her death, the elderly woman said, "Russia will not only survive; it will dominate the world." I don't know. So this was for 2022. This is what she predicted. Okay, this is actually an old article, kind of talking about her. But this is what she predicted in 2022. Let's see what you guys think on this. Um, Said a virtual reality takeover for the coming year, which I can see that, with Meta and
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I can see it. I can
to
see it
some
becoming more
extent, yes.
popular. Yep.
We kind of talked about it earlier.
Yeah. Another pandemic, this time discovered in Siberia, that is caused by a frozen virus that will be released by climate change. Now, I was talking to Mark about this before, backstage, and I read an article here the other day that they found what they're calling a zombie virus in Siberia that they're trying to bring back.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Considering the last couple of years, why would you do that?
It's like trying to open a dimensional portal.
All right.
Why would
I'll,
you
I'll
do
see if I
that?
can find it. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it and share it.
Not the year, people. Put it away. Dump liquid nitrogen on it. Whatever you have to do, put it away. Burn it with fire.
This is on the New York Post. It said scientists warn long frozen zombie virus is a public health threat amid thaw.
I try to bring it back. Well,
Yeah, it's but it's crazy. Anyway, we'll go here. Where we at here? Says prediction, yeah, a prediction that many cities will face water shortages that will result in political consequences as alternative solutions are used. Tim put Rona 3.0. Yeah, no kidding.
well,
I
I mean,
don't. know of if I have heard of any water shortages, doesn't mean it didn't happen. I don't know though.
I live in one,
Right.
but I mean, it's not really what I would call a city.
Right. Let's see, the invasion of Earth by aliens with the arrival of an asteroid. I've seen a bunch of different articles talking about asteroids.
Yeah.
Um, is it possible? Anything's possible in my mind anymore. With the amount of stuff that we've talked about and researched and looked up, I don't doubt anything. Um, one could only hope, I think, at this point in time that we're invaded by aliens.
Well,
So
gotta be better than what's going on in Washington.
I know it.
If you're an alien out there and you're listening to this, stop in, I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah, I'll share. I don't care.
Yeah, that's it's all good.
Let's
Hear there's
see.
wild turkeys back east.
Or we can buy a bottle. I mean, either way, we'll have to go
There you
back
go.
east. Let's see. Famine in India due to a drop in temperatures that will result in locusts attacking crops. We were talking about this again backstage, and Mark looked it up, and sure
The
enough, there
locust
was.
thing happened. It did in May.
It did. It happened in May.
So
Tim, he put. I still think they have yet to find intelligent life in
I think you're
Washington.
right.
I think you're right. Yeah. More earthquakes and tsunamis with intense bouts of flood in Australia and parts of Asia. I know there were several floods last year in Asia.
Yeah.
I want to say Kazakhstan, some other places. I want to say in Asia. So I would say,
Asia's big there. There's always floods.
yeah. I mean, I'll give that one. I'll give that one to her just for argument's sake. Two, I'll give her the frozen virus. Maybe not another pandemic last year, but the frozen virus. Yeah, I'll give her that one. I'll say 4 out of the 6. I mean,
Eh,
that's batting pretty good. I mean,
it's not bad.
then the water shortage things. I don't know. I haven't heard
That's
anything about that.
66%.
Yeah, I'll give it to her.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. She also predicted global hunger will be eradicated between 2025 and 2028. We'll see. China will overtake the U.S. as a superpower. They are pushing to become a superpower.
Yeah.
Says polar ice caps will melt from 2033 to around 2045, and ocean levels will rise around this time. Okay. Doctors will be able to cure any disease with cloning technology. And then from around 2072, a classless communist society will thrive in hand with nature. I doubt it. Um,
No, there's been no evidence of communist societies ever thriving.
right.
Suffering,
Let's
yes, but thriving, no.
Right. Says a colony on Mars will enable the planet to become a nuclear power and demand of independence from Earth from around 2170 to 2256. Well, that's too far ahead for me. I don't see why they would rely, you know, or accept control from Earth. That has no bearing on millions of miles away. I
Yeah.
just don't see it, and unless of course, I mean, I could obviously see the governments and of the world and all this threatening. Okay, well, we just won't send you any supplies. I mean, so I could see that,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the universe will end in 5079, which that is so far away. I have no worries about it.
Yeah. I'll be
So,
gone far, far
let's
away.
see. But yeah, I would say 60%, 65%, whatever it was. Um, let's get into next year. We're under a month away from 2023, and we'll just take a look. Just a few of the predictions they're saying that she made, uh, and go from there.
Well, the first
Let's
one
see.
I've got is a devastating solar storm, which we've been
Yep.
seeing signs of that for the last couple of years. So
I
it's
think we're
here.
going through several right now. Um, but yeah, that's the one I've got. The same thing. It's solar tsunami. Solar storms, it talks about bursts of energy from the sun, which send electrical charges, magnetic fields, and radiation towards Earth. They can be as powerful as billions of nuclear bombs. But space weather is often simply seen as a pretty phenomena in the sky, such as northern lights.
Look up the
We've already
Carrington event.
right, and really, I mean, that's not a bad thing to be prepared for.
No,
Have
EMP
stuff in
shield.
the yeah, have stuff in a Faraday cage, this and that. I mean, I know this isn't a preparedness show, but it's something to think about. It's something to keep in the back of your mind because they're always happening. And it seems like here recently, they've ramped up because it's a different solar cycle.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's happened before.
I find this one plausible, highly plausible.
Right. I do too. I do too. Um, then she talks about the Earth's orbit is going to change. One of the most widely attributed prophecies from Baba Vanga in 2023 is that somehow the Earth's orbit will change. It's unclear what this means, but if this did happen, it could have devastating consequences. Our planet remains in a fine balance on the cosmic dance, with even the slightest shift potentially massively changing the climate. Even a little closer to our sun would bathe the world in radiation and massively increase temperatures. Glaciers would melt, sea levels would rise, and there would be global chaos. And while moving farther away, could plunge the world into an ice age and increase hours of darkness, causing chaos for nature.
This has happened before.
Yeah.
We had
Um,
the Pliocene thermal maximum, and we all know we're still in the bottom part of an ice age right now.
yep,
So
for sure. Um, I
it's
don't know.
plausible.
Yeah, I'd say it's plausible for sure.
I would not think that it would happen in a short period of a year, but
Maybe starting. I don't know.
maybe starting. Yeah, yeah.
I did see where I read an article today where they're talking about how the Earth is actually spinning faster than what it has before, or what it's known to. So clocks aren't able to keep up with it.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Um, let's see. Bioweapons. Says Vanga is also claimed to have prophesied that a big country will carry out bioweapons research on the people. It's claimed hundreds of thousands of people could die as a result of these twisted experiments. The Biological Weapons Convention of the United Nations effectively bans such experiments, and it also prohibits the stockpiling of viruses and dangerous bacteria.
Has anybody
However,
told anybody in Wuhan?
some countries, such as China, are feared to run shadowy bioweapons divisions. Huh. I could see this one.
Mm,
I could definitely see this one.
yeah, this one's highly plausible and possibly one of the more scary ones.
Right. My wife said, like the Rona. Yeah.
Right?
The whole gain of function, all that stuff. Uh, Here's another one I could see. It says in another potentially more realistic prediction, Baba is claimed to have warned of a looming nuclear power plant explosion. Vanga is often attributed to having predicted the catastrophe at Chernobyl, but this prophecy could be more concerning as there are genuine fears of a disaster in Ukraine. Russia is occupying I can't pronounce that, some nuclear power plant over there. It's a Zaporizhzhya. I don't. I'm not good on Russian, so
No, no.
uh,
I do not speak the Russian.
Right. UN inspectors have now visited the site, but fears continue as Kiev accuses Moscow of nuclear blackmail. One wrong move in the facility could trigger a disaster that could spread across Europe.
I mean,
Yeah, and not to
also
mention,
plausible.
I mean, you posted here, was it last week, week before last, that was it three guys were being charged for trying to hack into Wolf Creek, which is only like 70 miles north
Right.
of us.
Yeah. Up in Burlington, Kansas.
Yep.
Yeah, and that one, what amazed me about that one was how quiet they kept it.
Hmm.
Even when they did release it to the press, it barely got out there. Barely got out there.
Yeah, and that was like 2 years ago, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And they're just now being tried or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Not only that, but you just see out in North Carolina, last week there's some guys that attacked a power substation.
I did see that. I did
Um,
see that.
Again, this really isn't a preparedness show, but it's something to think about.
Yeah,
Seriously, it's something is. I mean, we're talking about this in the light of predictions from a noted psychic. I mean, things like this are going to happen. Everybody knows this. I mean,
yeah.
it's nothing new. Um, anyway, the last one on this list says the end of birth. Vanga last attributed claim was that in 2023, birth could be banned and all people will be grown in a lab. Leaders will decide what kind of people are born and they will be able to customize their traits and appearance. Everyone will end up like a character from the PC game The Sims. This is definitely one of the more outlandish predictions from Baba and feeds into fears some have about slowing birth rates. The average birth rate was 36.9 per 1,000 people from 1950 to 1955, while now it's only 18.5. And some forecasts predict it could dip as low as 14.6 by 2050.
I mean,
Um, yeah,
think about it. She's basing these predictions about things she knows about, and trends that are being seen. The transhumanists have been around a lot longer than most people think. And this is
right.
something that they have talked about clear
Yep.
back in the 70s and 80s. So it may not be imminent in 2023, but there's definitely people talking about it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
There were
conversations being
then.
had. Yep. I
There
know
there were
that's,
when she was making these predictions.
yep. Yeah. That's one of the big things, the whole gene splicing and people picking the DNA for their children and what, they want them to have blue eyes. They want them to be athletic or whatever, designer babies.
Well, that's a big thing with the Nazis.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So
Let's see.
I don't think any of her predictions for 2023 were all that outlandish.
No.
I found them all to have some level of plausibility, and I would guess that at least one or two of those things could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I
mean,
mean, there could,
I'm going to give it a better than 50% chance.
yeah, I could definitely see it. Let's see if, let's see. Let's see if Nostradamus agrees with her
There you go.
for next year. Let's see if there's any kind of similarities. We got time. I mean, yeah.
We do.
Let's see. All right, we're going to jump into Nostradamus predictions of 2023 just to kind of compare
Okay.
notes here. I mean, everybody's kind of familiar with Nostradamus and who he was and the things that they've said he had predicted and like 9/11 and stuff like that. But Nostradamus' predictions for 2023 predicts world war. Says 7 months, the Great War, people dead of evil doing. This has been predicted as the conflict in Ukraine caused by Russia's invasion can grow even bigger, resulting in World War III. Now, this is a possibility. I really believe.
Yeah, that
Um, Says a French city in Rowan bizarrely appears to escape the battle in the scary prediction. Talks about possibly the conflict in Southeast Asia between China and Taiwan, which threatens to drag the United States into a terrifying nuclear war.
I mean, yeah,
Okay, I could
yeah.
see it. I mean, absolutely, I can. Um, he predicts the Mars landing. The French mystic cryptically referred to a light on Mars falling, suggesting that humans could possibly visit the red planet in 2023. Elon Musk has suggested that humans will land on Mars by 2029. I don't
Might have
know.
missed it a few years.
Maybe. Um, then a new pope. Nostradamus' third prediction for 2023 is a new pope succeeding Francis. He suggested that Pope Francis will be the last true pope and that the next pope will create a scandal. He wrote, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will be Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city will be destroyed by the dreadful judge, and the dreadful judge will judge the people." The end. So
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
Francis is kind of old, so
Yeah,
that could happen.
yeah, I guess it could. Um, but then I don't know the way I'm reading it though. The dreadful judge will judge the people. The end. Is that biblical prophecy we're talking about? Is that
I don't know.
yeah? The Pope has been part of a scandal for a long time. Yeah.
I mean, that's not wrong.
No. All right. Then he predicts a celestial fire.
Uh-oh, that's
Says
an agreement with Baba Vanga,
could be.
solar storm.
Well, I don't know. Says the French mystic predicted a celestial fire on the royal edifice. This has been interpreted as suggesting that from the ashes of civilization, a new world order will emerge. Other followers of Nostradamus believe this could refer to the end times or the start of a new world order.
Eh,
In that context, I don't know.
I don't know.
And then the next one is the New World Order. Nostradamus' final prediction for 2023 talked about the new alliance of two great powers coming together. The new alignment will potentially be between a strong man and a weak one, or even a male and a female leader. However, the alliance's good effects will not be long lasting. I don't know. I
Plausible.
don't know. Yeah,
Now here, I'm going to make a few comments on prophecy. A lot of people look at prophecy and go, "Oh my God, the world's going to come to an end," or "Oh my gosh, this is going to happen," or "Oh my gosh, this." To me, prophecy is a warning. If you don't change, this is what's going to happen. And I think this is why some of these psychics or mystics or whatever miss, you know, let's just say that these predictions are all on the up and up. Let's just say that it all works. You know, let's just say that science has proven whether it is or not. They're a warning. They're not saying, "Oh, this has just absolutely got to happen." They're giving you a chance to change things. I can make a lot of projections and I can be scarily accurate. I am not a psychic. I can see what's going on in the world and make projections. And I could present those as a psychic prediction, but I wouldn't be doing that. Says, "Oh my gosh, this is the doom and gloom." I would personally put them out there just to say, "Hey, mind your P's and Q's, or you're going to end up in this garbage dump." And so you could explain away a lot of the misses. And then, you know, I'm really bad at guessing the timing of things, though. Never be able to guess a year. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. Here's a few more that I found. um, says he interpreted to have predicted a nuclear war for early 2023 between the United States and Russia that will last for 27 years following 7 months of Great War, people dead through evil, which we kind of touched on that a little bit. Um,
Let's see.
let's
There's
see.
a lot of
Here's
sites.
a good one. Yeah, spiders and locusts. Said there's a major earthquake Nostradamus has forecast for the coming year. A 9.8 quake in the ocean, specifically the Mariana Trench in the far west Pacific between Guam and the Philippines, from which he prophesied giant spiders and locusts would emerge.
Keep your arachnids to yourself
All right.
and watch your dirty mouth, Phil. I hate arachnids.
Says talking about Putin, said the Russian despot has put his scientists to working on creating a new kind of soldier, a human monkey hybrid that can eat anything. This is important because Mr. Putin can barely feed his newly mobilized conscripts. Indeed, the drafting of raw recruits has become a major headache for Vlad, which I don't care about that.
I,
It's the quatrain that he put: "A monkey of fortune and twisted tongue will come come to the sanctuary of the gods. He will open the door to the heretics and raise up the church militant." I don't know.
I don't know.
Says meteor strike. Says if Nostradamus is correct, a meteor the size of a whale will slam into our fragile planet and carry it with it an alien species of some sort. My wife said, "You don't like spiders, Mark?"
I do not, Andrea. I do not like spiders. Have Chris tell you the stories about me and spiders. I will scream like a little girl, and I am not ashamed of it. They have too many legs. Yeah, and too many eyes.
And this
They're watching.
uh this article, it said just for starters, if yeah, we have nuclear blast and radiation along with the possibility of World War III, super duper spiders and locusts, and a meteor carrying potentially infectious cooties. Mark Chris said, "You got a story to tell you, Andrea." um
Even I admit it's funny. My reaction to spiders is not logical. I don't care.
says, but now some good news from Nostradamus: Russia's despot Putin would be assassinated as plotted by his closest associates. I could see that.
I can see that. They're
um
Russians.
He also foresaw that U.S. President Joe Biden will suffer from a mystery disease. If he was referring to mythomania or pseudological fantastical, also known as habitual lying, the French prophet clearly got the year wrong because, as we all know, Joe's pathological condition began decades ago, but perhaps Nasty meant dementia.
I mean,
Says
worked in a
Donald
nursing
Trump.
home. I've seen it.
So there's more, perhaps due to the predicted world war and the chaos that results, the great audacious brawler will be elected governor of the army as in commander in chief. Donald Trump in 2024? Question mark. Um, yeah, it's called dementia. Everything it makes everything a mystery. Um,
Too true.
says now add economic disaster due to soaring costs. So high will the bushel of wheat rise that man will be eating his fellow man. Cannibalism, and also social upheaval as the gap widens between social classes. Dreadful horrors and vengeances, revolution. And with regards to John Kerry's climate kookiness commencing 2023, no rain for 40 years. The dry earth will grow more parched, followed by 40 years of constant rain. There will be great floods. Could it be the planet's immune system trying to get rid of us? A Kurt Vonnegut, Vonnegutism based on humanity's bad behavior. I don't know. I don't know. I've not really put a lot of stock in it like Nostradamus because it seems like a lot of them, are after the fact and they're kind of reaching to make it fit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I, I do
He was
find
so
it interesting,
he was so cryptic.
right? Um, let's
We could
see.
we could go through this list of, random people who are psychics and see what they say.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
Alright, let's see, here is Craig Hamilton Parker, psychic from, Britain. Let's see. Shortages? Oh, that's not a
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
not
I could
that
predict that.
wild, I mean,
We've been talking
bad
about that
weather
for a year.
events, they're gonna get worse. Well, I mean, it's the weather, there's gonna be bad weather. Uh, it's going to be a particularly bad year for all things to do with crops, also fish stocks. Well, we're already kinda seeing that. Because remember, we talked about a crab shortage not too long ago.
Yep.
Um, he thinks Vladimir Putin will lose power, and it would be a tumor or something like that.
I think it's already happening.
I think the man's gone mad.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what's driven this whole thing is the guy is sick.
He thinks Russia could use a dirty bomb.
Okay, that's plausible.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's what would happen if they blew up the nuclear power plant, right? Um, the Russian military conflict isn't going to settle down. Uh, a major cosmic event that he thinks will take place in our solar system in 2023. A huge solar flare or something like that. So Baba Vanga says something about that.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife
And
says
there
she's
could be
waiting on the
problems with
housing market to crash.
yeah, uh, with King Charles' coronation, could be a problem relating to Stonehenge, also known as the Stone of Destiny, which plays a role in the coronation ceremony. I don't know. He's got some interesting stuff. Uh, a lot of
That'd
the
be
it I don't think they're too far off. Of course, he's a lot closer to the issue than some of these
yeah.
people who've been dead for a long time.
I'd be interested in learning more about that Stonehenge thing. I've never heard of it. I never heard they used it in coronations.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about that either. Let's see, Catherine Andrews? I don't know who she is, but she's a psychic. Let's see what she's gotta say. This is kinda fun. I could go through all these psychic predictions all night long.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, it looks like I need to sign up. Well, I'm not gonna sign up. I don't have unlimited money. Um, most of these are gonna require some money.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't need that. Here's Cafe 2023 predictions by Jessica Adams. Uh, oh, they're astrological. Ukraine and Russia, Ukraine drama. Oh, it's links to YouTube channels and stuff. Um, we'll just skip that. But anyway, I think it's fun. I mean, I do believe that many people have psychic powers, and uh, so I'm not going to poo poo on them at all. Uh, but anybody who pays attention to what's going on in the world can make some scarily accurate predictions, which will then be ignored by the powers that be.
Yep.
And yes, Chris is right. We need to get Christy on.
Yep.
We were
Yeah,
talking
we were
about that
talking about that
today
today.
because she's blind and she's a psychic.
Yep.
It's
And
perfect.
she read my mail. I mean, that
She
when
did.
I first met her, she read me like a book, man, and it was weird.
Oh yeah. It was like, yeah, she's got your number.
Yep. But yeah, she
So
was cool. I don't really have a lot more.
I really don't. It's kind of cool though. I really encourage people to look at it, even just from the entertainment standpoint. But some of these psychics have been scarily accurate. Uh, Baba Vanga has really, maybe because she's a more modern source and can see how the world was going, but she made some pretty accurate predictions, and a lot of them are really plausible. So that'd be fun. Uh, hopefully, not all of them come true because then we're kind of screwed.
Right.
So, all right. Well, that's all I've really got.
Yeah, I don't have a lot more either. It was just a fun show to kind of get us back in the swing of things. We've like I said, we've been out for the last few weeks at least. Between sickness and just some other stuff going on. Sorry to be cryptic, but I'm actually waiting on news. And so I don't want to share too much on here because there's a lot of people that don't know. But like I said, if you know, you know. And I appreciate your support in that. Um, yeah, I don't really have anything else. We're going to do our best to have a show Monday with What If Tomorrow. Don't know what it's going to be about, but I've kind of talked to you a little bit about it, Mark.
Yeah.
But we'll announce something Monday. Kind of a new direction, but we're still going to talk preparedness, things like that. But we just kind of want to take it a little bit of different direction because it weighs on you. I mean, the
Yeah.
more you get into this
Try to move
stuff,
in a more positive direction.
yeah, I mean, it does. It weighs on you, and it's kind of dragging me down. I don't know about you, Mark, but
Well,
um,
I mean, I can handle it, but I mean, I know it it really bothers my daughter and my wife sometimes, some of the stuff we talk about.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I think we're going to try to put a more upbeat and more positive bent on it, um, just for at least for my own mental condition right now. But and we'll go from there, see how things go. I mean, we've always been pretty flexible
yeah,
about shifting and moving where we think we need to move.
yeah. I'm
Um,
excited about the Fringe shows after the first of the year.
yeah, I think we've got a good series planned. I think it'll be a good time. I think it'll be fun.
I really wanted to start earlier, but the more I look into it, the more it's gonna require a lot more preparation. But
Yeah.
Pam and Jess know what we're talking about, and they've got some good stuff
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. And I think
we're
it'll be a
looking
good
at.
time. Some cool history stuff.
Yeah, I dig
That's
history.
Yep. But anyway, I don't have a lot more. Remember, folks, help us out with buymeacoffee.com. Buymeacoffee.com. What if tomorrow / what if tomorrow? Help us out. Help us support the show. Help grow the show. If this is stuff you're into, if you like listening to it, and you know somebody that's not found our show, share it with them. Let them
Yeah,
hear it. Either one, what the What If Tomorrow podcast or this show, on the fringe. So with that being said, folks, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being patient with us while we heal and get back on our feet and get rolling again.
well, 'tis the
Wasn't near
season
as
to be
a
sick.
Yes, it is, and it wasn't near as long of a hiatus as we had in the past, but definitely missed it. And but with that being said, thanks y'all for your support and your thoughts and your prayers and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next episode.
Good night.